Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I am no longer a curator or purveyor of anything. I am fucking unemployed is what I am. So scratch that Twitter profile. Comedian, rockstar, mom. That's where we're at. Good to be here, guys. I don't know if any of you feel the same way, that this is like a fucking oasis of fun in an otherwise bullshit week. Just me, maybe? I think Metro Transit is making me bipolar. Anybody else? Because here's the thing, I take the bus on the regular, and I'm sure some of you do too as well. If the bus comes on time, that's the fucking greatest day ever. Everything's gonna be perfect, sunshine and roses, wonderful. If the bus is more than 5 minutes late, fuck you, everything is terrible. That's the kind of mood I was in, and I was in that mood waiting for my bus when a woman came running out of a pizza shop screaming at a crow. I wasn't concerned, I didn't care why this was happening. My only thought was, well fuck, if this holds my day up in any way, shape, or form, you and the crow are going down, lady. And I was fantasizing, it was like the crow was gonna go in her mouth, and it was gonna choke her somehow. And I was really getting kind of into it. And then I looked over, and she'd involved like 6 other people in her bullshit, and they were all on their hands and knees trying to remove this crow from what turned out to be a dead baby pigeon. Now, inevitably, some of you are like, oh, fuck off, it was dead, all right? Let the crow have a free meal, okay? Probably doesn't happen every day for the crow. Furthermore, it's a pigeon. Do you know what a pigeon is? It's a sky rat. It's vermin of the sky. You know what I mean? Like if I was walking down the street and I came across a woman trying to dig an actual rat out of the garbage to like save it from drowning, I wouldn't think you were some sort of do-gooder. I'd think you were fucking crazy. And so all of this was going on in my mind, and I was just like imagining the moment where I could maybe get angry enough to say something. And that's when a man came walking along with his dog. Except instead of going around or by, past me, they just kind of kept walking, and then the dog just sort of walked at me. And then suddenly it just kind of wanted to occupy my space. And I was like, what's up, dog? Which is my universal symbol for I don't like dogs. But it's an awkward thing to say. And I thought the owner would say something useful, but what the owner said was, he looked me in the eye and was like, oh, you're standing in his favorite spot. That's about the time that like 17 rubber bands snapped in my head. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm in your dog's favorite spot? Because this is a sidewalk. And I'm a person. And that's a fucking dog. Except I didn't say any of those things because I was so beaten down by everything else that had happened that day. So instead of saying anything, I just kind of looked at the dog, looked at the guy, and just kind of shuffled over a little bit. Oh, I guess it is a dog's life. And then I was too far from the bus stop, and the bus drove by, so... That's a fucking metaphor for everything, everybody. Life is good. But no, life is good, life is great. Valentine's just happened, and I've been with the same person for 5 years. And I was like, okay, what can I get this guy for a nice Valentine's gift? What have you been together for 5 years? I just wanted to get a thing that he would enjoy. And this year, that was WWE 13 for the Wii. I don't know if any of you have played it. I don't know if any of you are looking at me, but that is not my kind of game. And as I was handing over the debit card, I was like, well, fuck, now I'm gonna have to play this thing. I did not think this gift out at all. But then we went home, and he was like, well, you can make your own character. And I was like, you mean I get to make a mini me for the TV? That's awesome. Because vanity, right? So we sat in the living room and we made little characters of ourselves, and I was like, all right, let's just try and get the boobs quite right and the height quite right. And she has a cat costume. Her name's Kitty Galore. Had a lot of fun. But then we tried to set up a game, and that's when I got really fucking angry, because the one thing that game won't let you do if you are a heterosexual couple is fight each other. The game won't let men fight women. Now, as a modern woman, I appreciate the sentiment in which this rule was presented. However, as somebody in a long-term relationship playing a game I didn't really want to play, my exact response was, Well, for fuck's sake. The only thing I wanted to do with this thing, and he won't let me do it. And that's when I realized that what I'd essentially said to my partner that I love and enjoy so much was, well, all I wanted to do was beat the shit out of you virtually. $50 down the drain for nothing. Now, as if that's not bad enough, after we had that conversation, we set up a game, and we played for a while, and that was cool, and then he left. And then about 20 minutes later, came back in the living room, and found me playing as a random wrestler, just beating the shit out of his poor, defenseless avatar. As his controller just laid there, idle. And he just kind of looked at me and was like, you're really enjoying this, aren't you? And I was like, I just wanted to learn how the buttons work. Which sounds really hollow after you've said, well, for fuck's sake, I just want to beat the crap out of you. So we probably need to talk to some people, or maybe I do. I might be going crazy is the point of that story. But I think I know why. Because I have a mom, like we all do, and my mom, like most people, is fucking nuts. Which is a thing I've come to terms with. She came to my house a few weeks ago on a Monday morning, 9 a.m., walked in and was like, here's the 50 Shades of Grey books. I think you need to read these. That's officially the most awkward thing anybody has ever said to me. But like when your mom walks in your kitchen and was like, here's 1,000 pages of word porn, you need this. That's uncomfortable. But what's more uncomfortable than that is when she starts mentioning parts of the book. And then if you're like me, you read the books for curiosity and get to those parts of the book, and then you realize, oh fuck, Mom and I are into the same things. There's something we didn't need to know about each other. That's the worst conversation ever. But I'm no stranger to awkward conversations, because we have a 2-year-old now, and yeah, if you stay together long enough, not only do you have weird conversations, but if you make a person, you have weird conversations. Actual conversation the other day. Honey, you know that toy screwdriver you had that she has? You won't believe what she tried to do with that thing. Exact response. Well, it really takes after her mother, doesn't she? And that's when you confront some things about yourself. I also had to confront this about myself. I should be reading the parenting books a little faster because we had an incident a few weeks ago and I just was completely unprepared with how to deal with it. I was getting ready to go to a comedy show, and from the bedroom, I heard screaming, crying, and the words, "Stop that." That is the trifecta to go see what's up. And I walked out, and my partner and my daughter had the exact same facial expression, which was hurt, and anger, and confusion. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, guys, what happened out here? Honey, tell your mother what you just did. Now, she doesn't really do sentences yet, and I was in a hurry, so I was like, can we just speed this up? What's going on here? Well, I just don't know how to say this. Well, you're just going to have to say it. I just don't know the words, because your daughter, she just bit my, through my pants. And, like, some of you, like, I heard the words, but I didn't really hear the words. And I was like, come again? And he repeated himself, and like a lot of you, like, that's a sentence I wasn't expecting to hear today. And then the next follow-up question is, how the fuck did that happen in a way that isn't creepy and strange? I will explain. Daddy and daughter were playing the couch game, which I will also explain, because if you say that, that is also creepy and strange. The couch game is not creepy and strange, it's actually quite nice. Dad lays on the couch, maybe trying to take a nap for a few minutes, and then she gets up there and she uses him as a human trampoline. So it's fun for one person, basically. But in this particular instance, they were doing this, and then she like jumped and landed in a weird and unfortunate place, and couldn't get herself up quite right. And then, out of the frustration that only a 2-year-old can muster, chose to use him as a human teether. That's awful. Some of you are now rethinking your plans over whether or not you'll have kids, probably. But now, worst part is, I have to come up with words to make this all okay. And I vote 5 minutes, and I'm like, well fuck, there's a no biting chapter, there's a private parts chapter, probably should have read that one a little sooner. But nowhere in the parenting books is this exact scenario. And I'm just left on my own, I'm like, honey, Don't bite your father's cock. He hates that, trust me. All right, thanks very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Catherine Robertson, ladies and gentlemen, keep it going.